up. They don't have no bucket for me. My head is to the side. And I'm like, I can't hold it. I'm literally throwing up in my hair. Throw up is everywhere. The anesthesiologist is like, somebody get a bucket. Somebody get a...
Hey guys, I'm Shamor.
And I'm Lex.
And together we are
More of Lex. And by the grace of God, we're coming to you with another video.
Another one.
So, as you can see, we have a new background. We got new, we look a little new. It's cool though. We'll get into that in another video because we did move. So if you want to see our empty apartment tour, make sure that you are subscribed so you will not miss when that video drops.
But that's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to tell you our birth story because we just had a whole baby.
A whole baby, not a half baby, a whole baby.
We just had a whole baby and things happened kind of quickly. We kind of lost track of things, but it is an exciting story. I feel like we've been there before.
We've been here. I feel like we shouldn't be veterans in this, but we are. But enough of the intro. Let's get straight into our birth story. Your girl always had an issue with when it comes to pregnancy. Like, I can never just have the, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant, I'm glowing, my maternity photos, things are lovely, and then I just have a regular birth. No, that's never my
A regular birth.
That's never my story. So we're gonna get into a little background. So for starters, I had preeclampsia with my previous pregnancy, and our middle child, Alea, was born at 26 weeks due to pregnancy-induced high blood pressure. No one knew what preeclampsia was. That's what it is. So I was high risk on this pregnancy, and I went to a high-risk doctor that, was kind of keeping me under watch and making sure that I didn't have a baby that early. Long story short, my blood pressure was bugging out the whole pregnancy. First of all, I had
Hyperemesis.
Hyperemesis gravidarum.
We have been saying that wrong for months.
We
have been saying hyperemesis.
Hyperemesis gravidarum.
When we spoke to the nurses, they were like, "Oh, you mean hyperemesis?" And we were like, "Yeah, that."
So I had that in the beginning of the pregnancy, which was horrible. Lost 25 pounds, couldn't keep anything down. My poor husband had to clean up, throw up, and everything. It was just bad. Yeah. But I'm going to have another video on that as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And then right when that started to subside a little bit, because it didn't really go away, my blood pressure was bugging out. So my blood pressure would spike up. I'd get really bad headaches. What else was happening to me?
Everything. I mean, I don't really know. It all
Bloating.
it seems like a blur now because it went from one thing immediately into another. So the entire pregnancy was rough.
I think in the hospital.
Yeah, this pregnancy, we thought we had seen it all with the pregnancy of our second daughter, but this one by far took the cake.
The worst pregnancy ever.
Yeah.
But so I was in and out of the hospital. The only difference is when I went to the hospital for my blood pressure spiking up, I would never be admitted. They would just, have me lay in a little uncomfortable bed until my blood pressure regulated, and then I was able to go home. So that was the story.
No. So.
Wait, we're not getting there yet. Wait, that's the background.
I'm telling that part though.
Okay, that's fine. That's the background, right? So, like I said, we just moved. We moved into our new apartment officially, 3 weeks ago now?
Yeah, we moved in on September 3rd.
Okay, yeah. So we moved in September 3rd, and I was nesting on 1,000. I was trying to get all the back boxes unpacked.
That's what she wants to call it. She wants to call it nesting, but she was a raving maniac.
It was nesting.
And I mean, throughout the entire, and I feel like this is something that contributed to the premature arrival of our daughter, but that's neither here nor there, because this one here refused to sit down. We're moving in, me and a couple of my brothers from church moved us in, and the entire time, this woman here just refused to sit down, refused to take a break. She's hustling and bustling. I'm like, dude, you're pregnant.
Because who's going to do it?
Sit down.
Who's going to do it?
Hold on. It's going to get done, but she just wanted it done within a specific time frame. Sit down. She's asking me throughout, the duration of the move. She's like, hey, Shimon, she's coming up to me, winded. She can't breathe. She's sweating. Hey, Shimon, do you mind if I sit down? I would prefer you sit down. Please, go sit down.
Anyway.
Go lay down. Go take a nap. We'll handle this. 5 minutes later, she's back out, up and at it again.
Because they weren't doing it right.
Yes, we were. But
I needed to get it done right.
But I will say this. Third day we moved in. Usually you have boxes laying around for maybe 3 weeks, a month and a half, 2 months, sometimes even a year after you move in. We were 95% moved in, unpacked, literally with the second or third day we were in here because of the fact that she was just so all over the place. It was crazy. But looking at the end result, that was
so I think it was the second or third day where things are pretty much unpacked and I'm, trying to start settling down to where I just start feeling like crap, headache, I'm seeing spots, it was really bad. And I'm like, Shamar, I think we need to go to the hospital.
We had just set up our dinner. We put the TV on. We were about to hang out. And I'm like, are you serious? Right now? Not after we eat, not after the show? And she's like, no, I need to go to the hospital. And I had to take that seriously. So I said, okay, let's pack you a bag. And she was like, no. They're just going to do the same thing they did the last 2-3 times we went. Give me some fluids and calm me down, and my blood pressure will begin to de-escalate. I said, let's pack you a bag, Alexia. No, she insisted. So we go to the hospital, and first thing they say, yeah, you're not going home. I look at her like, I had to go back home, pack her a bag, because I just had a feeling.
Let me not say, let you not say you had to pack me a bag. I put a list together of everything. I had
to actually pack the bag.
I put a list together of everything that I need to. Mind you, we don't have anything for the baby. We didn't even have our baby shower. We had nothing. No bassinet, no place for the baby to sleep. Pampers, clothes, bottles. We had absolutely nothing. I didn't have my little.
Because we thought we had more time.
Right.
It's not because we were being irresponsible.
I'm 30. Oh, I was 32 weeks. Yeah, so I'm 32 weeks. So we were in the process of moving in and then getting all that stuff together after. But because of the circumstances and because I got admitted to the hospital and they were like, no, you're not leaving. We're like, oh my gosh. So I put a list together of all the things that I needed him to get for me. Yeah. There were some things on Amazon that I wanted to get, but I couldn't get my little cute robe and my little bag. I wanted to get my hair braided, get myself waxed. I wanted to have the whole 9. None of that ever got to happen. But if you want to know everything that I brought to the hospital that honestly worked out, whether I had the things from Amazon or not, if you want to know everything that's actually essential and not overpacking, I will create a video for that as well. But yeah, so he came home, got me everything I needed, and my blood pressure just still was relentless. It was not coming down. So that's when they put me on the infamous magnesium.
Yeah, and a couple other medicines, magnesium.
They shot me up with steroids.
Labetalol.
No, I didn't do the labetalol yet. They just gave me the magnesium first, and the steroids. The magnesium's for the babies.
They didn't want to give me any. Trust me, I asked, but they just.
You don't need any steroids.
Come on, baby.
Anyway, so.
I'm trying to cheat the system.
He was going and picking up the girls and then bringing them to the hospital. They were going to try to hold me in the hospital, hold Skylar Rose in my stomach until I was at least 35 weeks. Mind you, I'm 32 weeks now. So that means it was going to be a few weeks in this hospital. But like we said before, my blood pressure, I was a ticking time bomb. My blood pressure was relentless.
We had been here before. We had been here with our second daughter. So it was almost like deja vu, but it was like, not this again.
Yeah.
Not this again. We were not prepared. But what I will say is that in the midst of everything that transpired, man, God is good.
Yeah.
We had such an amazing support system, and we still do, of people that just came through in the clutch. I mean, hey, what do you guys need? Hey, babysitting, do you guys need food? I mean, it was amazing.
It was amazing. Our friends, shout out to Jake and Jenny. Our friends, they watched our girls for 2-3 days. Yeah. People were bringing us food. They were just literally going above and beyond for us, texting us, how's she doing, what's going on, what's that? I have felt love, but from a community that we just literally entered into not even full 2 years ago, I've never felt so much love from new faces ever in life. So it was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But back to the story.
I'm sorry, but we got to give a shout out. We got to give credit where it's due, because don't get me wrong, our situation with Alea, we had an amazing support system back in Jersey as well. Thank God. Came out here, we didn't know if we would have that. We weren't expecting to get pregnant, but by the grace of God, we did have an amazing support system. You know who you are. Thank you. We love you. We wouldn't have been able to do it without you. Just want to make sure that we show you our appreciation. We told you already, but if you watch this video, we're going to tell you again.
But back to the story. So, where was I? Oh, so my blood pressure was not going down at all. And I wasn't even doing anything. I was literally just laying in the bed. Like, I was not doing anything at all. It just was relentless. It was not trying to ease up at all. So that's when they started putting me on the blood pressure medication. That was still like a Band-Aid. It was only working for an hour, and then my blood pressure would go right back up. One of the days, I think it was the day of the delivery, we had a nurse named Sherry. Now, Sherry was awesome. A tiny young lady, beautiful girl, beautiful spirit. She was so small, mind you. I'm like 220, bloated. And she held it down for me. My blood pressure skyrocketed to like 177 over something. And she had to like help me up. She was like putting in that work for me. And when she told the doctor that my blood pressure was not leaving the high 170s, almost 200, that's when they're like, okay, yeah, you have to get an emergency C-section. You're going to have this baby. I'm 33 weeks at this point, and now I am bawling, crying.
The C-section was supposed to be scheduled for 2 o'clock, but her blood pressure was so out of control, they had to move it up. We had everything planned. I was like, okay, we're going to drop the kids off at this time, just because we didn't want to be a burden, to the people that were watching them. So we had them with us at the hospital, and the doctor was like, no, we got to get this going now. So I had to get the kids all together.
That's not where I was going.
I know, I'm driving,
That's not where I was going. You're going too far.
But that's the juicy stuff that happened in between.
I'm saying that all of us being crying in the room.
Oh yeah, that happened too. Yeah, that was all right. So that's my story to tell. And the reason why I say that is because I'm surrounded by women, man.
Well, I gotta start it over. They don't know where we at now. You took it off the course. So now, scratch what he said for a second. I'm bawling, crying. The kids are still.
Just cut it. I want to see the time.
So I'm bawling, crying. They just tell me I have to deliver. The kids are right with me. So now Ari sees me crying. Now she's scared. Now she's crying. Then Alea sees Ari and me crying. Now she's scared. Now she's crying. You want to take over?
I'm just in the room surrounded by crying women as we're embracing to bring in another crying woman. I was like, this is my life, I grew up in a house full of women, and I will die in a house of women,
I'm going to see if I can put in a little
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I want a son, man. We got to balance out the testosterone estrogen ratio in here. It is crazy.
Not right now.
But it was a rough time. However, it was extremely easy to, keep our spirits high because of all of the love and the support that we had. I felt like it would be disrespectful to the people that were just reaching out to us, praying for us to be down throughout the midst of this situation. So, shout out to them.
So then, after he has calmed down all the women inside this hospital room, he went to go drop our kids off at our friend's house, and then the doctor came in like, I don't know where he's at, but you're gonna have to deliver like now. So I'm calling him like, please.
Now I gotta drive faster.
They're gonna take her whether you hear or not.
I gotta drive. I'm already breaking the speed limit. I was well over the speed limit going to our friend's house, and she calls me on the way back like, you gotta get here. I'm like, do I have 5 minutes? I had to really put the pedal to the metal.
You don't have 5 minutes. If you're not here, then too bad. But anyways, fast forward, we get into the room, and now the nurse is I'm back to emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
I was messed up. I'm crying. I'm scared. They're gonna give me the spinal needle and the epidural, whatever the case. And the nurse is like, just hold on to me. I got snot and all that stuff all on her scrubs. It was gross, but they gave me the epidural and the spinal to numb me down there.
Spinal. I broke my back. Sorry, I had to.
And then now they're laying me down on the table, and I'm like, where's my husband? Where is the anesthesiologist and nurse is like, did someone tell her husband to come in? And they're like, and the doctors, they're about to start cutting. I'm like, we can't do this unless my husband's in it. They're like, somebody bring the husband in. It literally felt like Chicago Med or Grey's Anatomy. Like, it just was all over the place. They finally let him in, and they get to work. They start the cutting. They pull baby girl out. Yeah. And this one runs straight to her. Once he runs straight to her, that's when everything went downhill.
Hold on, wait. First of all, I was there with her every step of the way. I was holding her hand. I was checking on her, making sure she was good. So don't try to make it seem like I just abandoned you.
You abandoned me. Love don't live here anymore.
I was there, and then they pulled Skylar out. I stuck my head over the little barrier curtain that they set up there, and she was awesome. She was raising hell. It was crazy. Turning Super Saiyan. And then that's when they finally called me over. Hey, Dad, you can come over. That's when I left.
Okay, thank you.
And then I went over to tend to my child. This was an awesome story too, because like I said, she was going off. She was not happy to be, brought out into the world yet. And I went over to her. I said, "Hey, Mama." She said, and she just stopped crying. That was amazing. She heard my voice. She remembered I was talking to her in the womb all the time. She heard my voice and she stopped crying. And they were like, "Oh, now she knows her dad."
Can we get back to the abandonment? So he goes over there to her, right? And that's when everything goes downhill. Now I'm talking to the anesthesiologist. I wish I knew his name because he held it down too. I'm like, yo, I gotta throw up. Mind you, I'm cut open. So when you're like, and you cut, and she's like, I don't want to throw up. Anyways, so I'm like, I gotta throw up. They don't have no bucket for me. My head is to the side. And I'm like, I can't hold it. I'm literally throwing up in my hair. Throw up is everywhere. The anesthesiologist is like, somebody get a bucket. Somebody get a bag. Somebody get something. I'm like, I can't hold it. So now he's sticking rags in my neck. He's sticking rags in my neck trying to catch the rest of the throw up.
We have a picture of the aftermath, by the way. We'll throw that in.
No, we're not.
Yes, we have to. We have to. We have to.
Whatever.
We're going to throw it in there.
Anyway, so now I'm like, I gotta get off the table. I'm literally having the worst panic attack. I'm like, get me off the table. I'm throwing up. Mind you, he's still over there with homegirl. He ain't even thinking about me. The anesthesiologist is like, I'm gonna give you some more medicine. So he's pumping me up some more. And I'm like, get me off the table. I'm throwing up. They finally give me a bag and all I can do is sing in Jesus' name. So I'm on the table, throw up in my hair, feeling like I need to get off the table, talking about something. I speak the name of Jesus over you. The anesthesiologist is just looking at me like, I don't know what to do. So finally, Shamor and the nurse come back over, and the nurse is like, let's take a picture. Mind you, this is literally a split second after my whole panic attack and throwing
I sit down,
up.
and she was like, where were you? I was like, you know where I was. And then the anesthesiologist was like, you abandoned your wife, dude. I'm like, what do you mean? I was gone for 2 seconds.
It was not 2 seconds. You were gone for 5 minutes. Man. They come over, they sit down. So now I got the bag of throw up in my hand.
And then I was holding it.
And Shamor is just like,
we go put the picture.
But anyway, so then they stitched me up, and I didn't really get to see her, which kind of sucked because I was still in and out of it. The magnesium, the whatever they pumped me up with, I was just done. So I didn't get to see her until about 6 hours later. But for the most part, that is our birth story.
Yeah, she came out. She was 4 pounds, 3 ounces. And she was healthy. She didn't need a CPAP. She didn't need any type of assistance breathing. And I attribute that just to all of the prayers that we received on her behalf, considering the circumstances. So that was truly, truly the work of God.
It was amazing.
While that was happening, that was a different. It was different from Alea's.
Way different from Alea.
Yeah.
Alea didn't need, anything else as well. She was extremely healthy. They did put the CPAP on her, but she came earlier and she was 2 pounds, so she was much more of a non-handled baby and was in the middle of COVID. So it was just a lot going on. But with this, Skylar Rose only stayed in the hospital for 2 weeks. Honestly, the only issue was me. I was the one that needed to, get nursed back to health with my blood pressure. And yeah.
So, side note, with her condition, right, preeclampsia, there is a male component involved that causes the female body to react in a certain way to the male hormones, and that's when you get preeclampsia, and it's just a whole bad thing going on. But it's a condition that I suffer from as well. Yes, preeclampsia is bad, but it's something inside of me that caused her to, go all out of whack and stuff like that. A lesser woman would have died. I say this all the time. So she is a strong woman. A lesser woman would not have been able to contain my children up until that point in time. But I suffer from a condition referred to as Titan sperm. And it does a lot of damage to the female host. And it puts a lot of things in jeopardy. But by the grace of God, everything turned out all right.
I hope no one is taking this seriously.
So,
I hope no one is taking
Titan
this
sperm,
seriously.
pray for me. Pray for us. And just,
Anyway, that is it. I'm going to actually go get baby girl because we're about to go leave to pick up our other kids. So let's go and see her really quickly.
Here she is.
So this is baby girl, light bright. She's a light bright, baby scrunch.
Baby
A
scrunch.
baby scrunch. A baby scrunch scrunch.
Stinky Pinky. Oh, another funny part, right? When we called our friends that had Alea and Ariana, we FaceTimed the girls so that they could see their sister. And the first thing that Ari asked me when she answers the FaceTime, she says, "Oh, that's my little sister." She stopped smiling and she goes, "Is she white?" I'm like, "No, she's not white, Ari. She's just a little not pigmented right now." But
She has Alea's actually. She has one of Alea's newborn clothes, which is like swimming on her. Because we don't have that many preemie clothes, we do have to get some preemie stuff for her. But this is her. Give me her. Give me.
she was comfortable. She was comfortable.
Hi.
But this is our little troublemaker
This is the baby.
that we added to the bunch.
This is the baby. This is the baby.
Yeah, she's just the cutest little button. But yeah, we actually have to go. Here she is. Everything turned out all right. Praise the Lord.
They probably can't see her because the lighting is so bright.
Yeah,
and
she's
bright.
bright. Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, maybe we'll adjust the filter if we have to. But that's our video for today. Hope you guys stayed until the end of our story time. And yeah, we look forward to recording more content. Keep you guys updated on us as far as what's going on with us. So
make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video from us. We have so much more content coming, especially our empty apartment tour, where you can see where we at now.
it's not empty anymore.
It's not.
It's not. We got stuff in it.
But anyways, that's all we have for today.
Peace. Make sure y'all subscribe, man. Stop playing. I don't want to have to come and knock. I know where y'all at.
We said peace already.
Nah,
Stop
make sure y'all do
trying
that.
Go
Now
turn
we
the
say
camera off.
I'll tell people what to do.